Hello, everyone. Pretty good weekend so far, eh? First, well, I'm watching. Undisputed is on the first take, getting ready to come on. I want to see what Shannon and Stephen A got to say. Just curious. But I'll talk about that on my next podcast. Probably will be tonight or early tomorrow morning after the game. But right now, my mind is like, go Clemson. If you don't already know, I have a Clemson family. My sister Kim went to Clemson. My brother Paul went to Clemson. My first cousins Nikki, Corey, Anna, Tony. Tony is the one who's the Eagles fan that came out here to go to the Eagles game with it, whatever. Tony, and right now my twin godsons, Weston and Wesley, are there. So I have a Clemson family, and we're all nervous right now, and we're ready to do some work on Alabama. I'll talk all about that during the live stream tonight, but I will be live probably 30 minutes before the game or whatnot, but can't wait for that one. But back to the NFL before I drift off into college football land. This is my preferred path so far. If you listened to my podcast last week, I told you I had this. I just woke up just feeling like there's going to be an NFC Championship game in Dallas between the Cowboys and the Eagles, and it's going to be so intense. Some of us will not survive it. It's going to be probably one of the biggest games that I've ever witnessed in my life. So it looks like it's going toward that way. We have to handle business, but I live in LA, so I wanted the Cowboys to come out here in the playoffs. I do have tickets, but I'm too scared to go. I think I want to be more focused on the game while watching that TV and talking to you, and I think that's the best for me. But I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm going to do with those tickets. We'll talk about that during the podcast. But I wanted them to come out here because this team, I watched the Rams a lot, and they haven't been playing as well as they were playing early on in the season. That's how I can be as diplomatic as I can say about it, because I don't want to say anything bad about it. I don't want to give them locker room material. but the one thing I can probably say with confidence, especially being out in that stadium when the Eagles were playing the Rams and saw how those Eagles took over the area, and there's Cowboy fans from Oxnard. And how many people are out there? The Cowboy fans are everywhere out here in California. They're everywhere. So I foresee that stadium being just filled with Cowboy fans, and almost like a home away from home game, like they're coming back to where they train. It's a good look. It's a much better look than going down there in New Orleans, which would be a clear away game. Even though I'm not thinking greatly of the Saints right now, that still would be an away game and a clear away stadium or whatnot. So that happened. Philadelphia had to win for that to happen. So I feel horrible for that, what happened with Chicago. I was so torn. People were laughing at me because I was so torn sitting there in that chair, because I can't for the life of me pull for the Philadelphia Eagles. If I could, I would have versus the Patriots last year in the Super Bowl, and I just couldn't. So I was there, and I wanted Philadelphia to win because of this scenario, but I just could not pull for them. So I was sitting there with the Bears. Wow, it's about to happen. And then when the doink happened, they just like, oh, I know it hurt them guys. But then they had all the doinks that he did this season. Why is he there? Why isn't he there? But no, the real thing, as soon as he doinked it in the NFL, we all thought of our kicker. I know you did, because I did. As soon as that happened, my mouth was wide open, like he missed it. And I was like, I hope that don't happen to us. Our kicker is very suspect, just like their kicker was suspect. So, and I told you that's one of my four things that could happen that could make us lose a football game. And even though it wasn't that, you know what? I don't want to put it down on that kick for that lost the ball game for Chicago. When I was looking at it, especially their defense was supposed to be an all-world defense. They're playing at home. They should have not let Nick Foles go down the field like that. And Golden Tate. And Golden Tate is becoming what I warned you guys about, being that little tough guy will catch everything. So That thing that's going on in Philadelphia with Nick Foles, man, I'm telling you, I hear Chris Carter was up here being stupid, saying, everybody knows Carson Wentz is the best quarterback on their team, blah, 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 blah. He has the prettiest arm, blah, blah. Okay, please get Nick Foles out of there and put Carson Wentz back at quarterback. Please trade Nick Foles at the end of the year and keep going forward with Carson Wentz, because I'm not about giving Philadelphia any advice, but I would roll with this dude that got my machine rolling as long as I can roll with him. Get rid of Wentz, load on draft picks, and you have better prospects than Carson Wentz ever was coming out. Carson Wentz is getting old. You got Tua coming. You got Lawrence coming from Clemson. You got all these Haskins. You got quarterbacks on top of quarterbacks coming out of the draft in the next coming years. Load up on picks, ride that guy, and whatever. But y'all stupid. You like to follow Mel Kiper and scouts and discredit what happens in actual football games. That drive by Nick Foles right there was hot. Was just that it was big time. It was big time. But Carson Wentz, he has all the tools. Yeah, let the tools win football games first before you respect the tools. All right, in the AFC, the Chargers and Colts, those teams, the Ravens are too one-dimensional. They're way too one-dimensional right now. And a team like the Chargers that were complete had a plan for them, and they wore them out. And I didn't know the Houston Texans was as one-dimensional as they are, but they have no running game whatsoever. They need to get Le'Veon Bell or somebody in there to try to help that situation out or whatnot. But the Colts are also a complete team. So the Chargers and Colts, I like them both next week as well. I like both of them next week as well. Do you hear me? I told you many a time, Kansas City Chiefs are a gimmick team. Andy Reid knows how to load up stats load up stats and wins in the regular season. And when you go into playoffs and you go up against a team that knows how to stop you, they will stop you. So bye-bye Andy Reid, and we'll talk about that later also. But the only problem that I have with what we were doing with that game, because I'm as ecstatic as it can be, but that's 15 fourth quarter comebacks for Dak Prescott. Okay, I don't want to see the movie no more, man. I don't want to see that movie anymore unless I have to. And I just need to get more production out of this offense. And when I look at this offense, I just feel like we can get more out of it. I feel like we're still doing things that are more conventional and not unconventional. If we get unconventional, we can shake things up or whatnot. And then we're also pass happy. The one play that I did not like, that I could not stand, was when we got the penalty. I can't remember who the penalty was on, but it was on Dak's interception at the goal line. But it put us back from 1st and 10 to 1st and 15. And that gave us excuse to, oh my God, we have to throw the football now. And we really didn't. We really didn't have to throw the football. You still have Ezekiel Elliott, and you got a quarterback that can run, that can really run. But in that play, we threw the ball. It was a bad call. It was a bad pass. It was pass interference. It was Noah Brown didn't help much with the reception, all that stuff. So it was just it was started with the bad play, and it rolled down from there. You should have gave your ball to number 21, came away with 3, because as I always say, I hate turnovers and I hate interceptions in the red zone. That is the worst. But in my opinion, 3 points is also always better than 0, and a punt is better than an interception. That's just the way I roll. But like I said, I don't want to see the Dak Prescott having to be a grown man every single week in the fourth quarter. I enjoy it. One of these days I'm gonna be laying there on that star dead, but I'm tired of seeing it. And I feel like with what we have going with Ezekiel Elliott, with Amari Cooper, and all, and Dak Prescott and all that kind of stuff, we can get more out of offense, and we need to start trying to do it this week coming up against the Rams. All right, guys, holla at you. Peace.